This is just some essential training on your back office. So when you first log in, you will see, we'll come back to that in a moment, you will see your overview page with a menu on the left hand side. So let's just have a look at that menu for a moment. The most important part on the menu and when you first log in is info. So the first thing to do is to click on info, because this is really like your getting started info as well. And we may even change the name of that page to getting started. But you've got a number of other links on here as well. Obviously you've got your tools and resources there. So that's, to help you promote your business, and that's, being added to still at this time. We just launched the website a couple of days ago, and everything is not going to be on there until say Monday or Tuesday of next week. But there is stuff on there. If you click on tools and resources, pay for another member, that kind of speaks for itself. If you click on there, you are given the option to pay for another member who has already registered. So you need to know that member's ID number, and you can choose to pay from one of our processors, or if you have commissions, you can choose to pay from your commissions. Payment history is your payment history. So this is what you have paid as basically Wheels of Fortune. So if you look under there, you will see your payment that you made. That's for your own records, that's all it's for. Cash history, this is your commission history. And withdrawals, this is withdrawals that you have made of your commissions. Okay, so but when you first log in, the important thing to do is to click on info. This is the info page, and it has, steps at 1, 2, 3, 4, everything that you need to do really when you first become a member of Wheels of Fortune. So, just please do not miss that page, otherwise you're going to be lost. And also on the menu on the left, you also have Tell Friends. This is where you can click to send a message to people. So you can enter emails address. It must be people that you know. Okay, this is not for use as a spamming tool. So you enter the email addresses of people that you know, and you can send them an email about the business. Landed members, kind of strange choice of words, and we will change that, but that's your prospects that have come through your lead capture page. So if you are advertising or promoting your Wheels of Fortune landing page, and people have submitted their details, you click on here and you can see those people and their contact details. Products is obvious, products, and again, we do have products there at the moment, but again, they won't all be uploaded until kind of early next week, because it takes kind of time to upload everything. Very important link here, news. You should really look at this. If you are actively working your business, you should look at the news every single day and just see what's been posted there, because if you are not reading the news, you are really not in the loop and up to date on what's going on. We do email as well, but not everybody reads their emails and not everybody receives. We know what email can sometimes be unreliable, but if you're reading the news, then you're never missing out on anything. And at the top of your back office there, when you log in, you have got the menu. So overview, that takes you right back to the page, your home page that you first see when you log in. And that's where you can also see your, you can get a snapshot of your commissions that you've got sitting in your back office. You can see, you can click and see your personally sponsored members. My Wheels, this is where you see your Wheels of Fortune, and we're going to go to that in a moment. Account details, we're going to go there in a moment. This is where you can make sure that your profile is all up to date with your email address, and etc, etc. Security page is where you can change your password, and support is where you can send a support ticket in. So you can send a support ticket in, which will be answered for you. If you use the support, when you use the support ticket system, is basically you use that when you cannot find the answer to your question anywhere else. So just check first that the answer to your question is not on the website in your back office here before you send a support ticket. Okay, this is the account details tab. So clicking on the account details tab, this is what you're going to see. This is where you can, check everything's correct, first name, last name. This is where you can change your email address if you wish to do so. Now, something really important here. It doesn't show you the password because that's coded, but it shows you your username. Something very important here. This little box here, if you untick this box here where it says get emails from the site, you will not receive any emails from Wheels of Fortune. None whatsoever, because you have opted out of the list. So if you've done that by mistake, then you can go back in here and tick the box again, scroll down to the bottom and click update, and then you will start receiving the emails again. A lot of people do this by mistake, because I think that they think by unticking the box they're getting the emails. I don't know what they think, but a lot of people unsubscribe by mistake, then send a support ticket in asking why they're not getting the emails. So this is something that you just need to be careful of here. If the box is ticked, you will get the emails. If the box is unticked, you will not get the emails. You also need to make sure you fill in your address, all your details here, your phone number, make sure it's correct, and very important down here at the bottom, selecting your payment processor. Right, at the moment we have 2 payment processors on there, AlertPay and Solid TrustPay. We are adding a 3rd one just very soon now. So you select your payment processor, and in the account ID for your payment processor, make sure this is correct. Because if you choose AlertPay, your AlertPay ID is your AlertPay email address. If you choose Solid TrustPay, your Solid TrustPay ID is your Solid TrustPay username. In AlertPay, you don't have a username, it's an email address you have. In Account ID, this is not your Wheels of Fortune ID number. This is your payment processor ID, whether that be an email ID for AlertPay or a username ID for Solid TrustPay. So when you've made sure this is all correct, click update. If you don't click update when you click off the page, those changes won't be saved. So click update, and then your changes will be saved and everything, you're good to go there. Just let me go back to this slide here. If you're using Hotmail, AOL, GMX, Freemail, and a few others like that, you may not receive your emails from admin. They may not even go into your junk folder. The reason for that is that some of these email servers, they block emails at source for no particular reason, and or sometimes they have long delays in getting emails through. So if you want to get your emails, you want to know you're going to get the emails, and you want to get a free email account, then Gmail is the one to go for. And members with Gmail accounts never have any issues in receiving their emails. I mean, most other email accounts are fine as well, but when you're looking at the free ones, such as Hotmail, Yahoo, AOL, Gmail, etc., then Gmail is the one that you want to go for. It's very reliable. Okay, so let's just go back to where we were here. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the wheels. So if we click on the My Wheels tab at the top of the menu here, go back here, where you've got My Wheels. If you click on My Wheels, what you're going to actually see is you're going to see your wheels. Now, if you have not yet cycled from the mini wheel through to the big wheel, then you're going to see your own mini wheel. Remember, every single new person starts off on the mini wheel. No one can go directly to the big wheel. It's impossible. So when you first start off, you're going to see yourself on a mini wheel, unless of course, something happens so quickly that before you even log in, you cycle to a big wheel, because this can happen. But in most circumstances, when you first log in, you're going to see your mini wheel. You are going to be at the top of your mini wheel here. Now, when you first log in, quite likely it will just be you on your mini wheel, nobody else, it'll be empty. But once you have either one of two things can happen here. You refer your first member, or somebody from your upline, your sponsor, say, more than likely, cycles from the big wheel. They may come and take a spot on your mini wheel, right? Because when your uplines cycle from the big wheels, they come and they take, when they re-enter the mini wheel, they re-enter to their downline, right? So there's 2 ways that your mini wheel can be completed here. So this mini wheel example has got 1 member already on, but if you look at potential members here, you'll see that this mini wheel has a person here, Brazil_7, this person, position, we'll call it position, who as soon as their big wheel completes, they are going to come and take a spot on this mini wheel. Okay, and in fact, you can click on that where it says Brazil 7. It will open up a new page and show you that person's wheel. And in this case, Brazil 7 is this person's upline, and so that potentially they are going to come when they complete their big wheel. And when it says potential members, what that means is Brazil 7 is almost cycling, only has one spot left to fill. Otherwise, Brazil 7 would not be in the potential members list, because potential members are positions that are close to cycling, and they are, when they cycle, they come to your wheel. That's why they're called potential, because there's always a possibility they don't cycle, right? But most times they will cycle, and they come to your wheel. Now, just because there's only one person there in potential members, or one position in potential members at the moment, that is not static, because at any time that can grow, that list can grow, because other people are doing, are active in the business, right? So you could log in today or now and see one potential member there, and log in an hour's time and see 3. It's just the way it works, because of the activity that's going on in the business and round about you, surrounding you in your group. Now, you also have something here called ghost positions. In this case, there are no ghost positions, so we'll talk about that in a moment. What we're going to do is we're going to click on big wheels here, and we're going to go and have a look at the big wheels. So just to make it absolutely clear here, everyone starts off on a mini wheel, just themselves, with 2 vacant spots, and those 2 vacant spots complete by either new members or re-entries coming from the big wheel. And when those 2 vacant spots are filled, this person here, Swiss Team 4, in this example, is going to cycle to the big wheel, and this mini wheel will cease to exist. And at that point in time, Swiss Team 4 will have no mini wheel until she or he cycles again on the big wheel and a new mini wheel is created for his or her re-entry. Okay, so that is why some people log in and say, where is my mini wheel? The reason is because you don't have one, because you've already cycled to the big wheel, but you have not yet cycled the big wheel to create a new mini wheel, to create a re-entry which creates a new mini wheel for you. So you don't have mini wheel all the time. Sometimes you will have one, sometimes you won't. When you don't, if you sponsor somebody, they are going to attach to your closest downline's mini wheel. And when your newly sponsored person cycles, they will follow you to the big wheel. So that's serving 2 purposes. That is, they are both following you to the big wheel, but also by attaching to your closest downline member's mini wheel, they're helping your downline member to cycle. So they're helping your downline member to cycle, which also helps you to cycle. So we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So when a new member joins, if their sponsor has no mini wheel, they will attach to their sponsor's closest direct downline. Okay, let's go and have a look at the big wheel. Right now, if we look at this big wheel, there's quite a bit going on here. This big wheel is about to cycle, has 1 position left to fill. And what's happened here is that when this big wheel started out, there was only 1 spot on it, and that was Swiss Team 5 in the middle of the wheel. And that was it. There was nothing else on it when it started out. And then 2 positions arrived onto Swiss Team 5's big wheel and went to the inside circle, because the inside always fills first. So you've got 2 positions to fill on the inside and 2 on the outside. So this position here, PowerMac 2, came along first, and we know it came along first because it's on the left, and the left spot fills first. Then Amadeus 2 came along second and filled the right spot. Now, where these came from, these came from either the mini wheel or re-entries from the big wheel when they cycled. Now, because when these 2 inside spots filled, Swiss Team 5 here now moves to the outside of her big wheel, or his big wheel, with 2 spots left to fill on the outside. Now these 2 outside spots here, when they complete, this wheel will cycle. Swiss Team 6 is going to earn $225 and re-enter a mini wheel following her downline, and re-enter a big wheel following her sponsor. So we split the re-entries to help both the downline and the sponsor. Now, if we look here at potential members, Swiss Team 6 has a potential member, PowerMac 2, cycling from moving from the inside of his big wheel to the outside. And when he does that, he is going to come and take this vacant spot on the outside of this big wheel here, of Swiss Team 6's big wheel, and cycle Swiss Team 6. But before that, something else could happen. It could be that PowerMac 2 or Amadeus 2 also move to the outside of their big wheels, and therefore they will take this spot and cycle Swiss Team 6 before the potential member. In fact, the potential member is PowerMac 2 in this case. And again, just to repeat, the reason PowerMac 2 is on that list is because he only has one spot to complete before he moves to the outside of his big wheel. No one is on a potential members list unless they are close to cycling their wheel. So otherwise you could have a huge list of potential members there that wouldn't mean anything. And new members can appear on that potential members list at any time because it's fluid, it's not static. So here there's a couple of scenarios that could happen right now at this point in time, but again in a few hours time there could be more scenarios. But right now there's two ways that Swiss Team 6 can cycle. Right now at this point in time there are two ways, and one is that PowerMac 2 moves to the outside of his big wheel and therefore will take the last remaining spot on the outside of Swiss Team's big wheel. Or the other way is that Amadeus 2, even though he's not on the potential members list yet, meaning that his wheel isn't as close to not close to cycling, he could still do that before PowerMac 2 and move to the outside and cycle Swiss Team 6. So those are the two potential scenarios for cycling this wheel at this moment. But anything could happen. Swiss Team 6 themselves could bring a new member on today, and that new member could go to work, and that new member could end up being the one that cycles this wheel. So you just do not know. Okay? Now, ghost positions. Swiss Team 6, the owner of this big wheel, has two ghost positions waiting for her or him. When she cycles this big wheel, those two ghost positions are going to automatically zap onto her new big wheel, filling the two inner spots and pushing her to the outside, meaning that her new big wheel will be half completed before she even knows it. She won't ever see herself on the inside of her new big wheel because it happens automatically in a split second. The moment she cycles, her new big wheel will appear and she will be on the outside of it with Europe Team and Europe Team both on the inside. You might be thinking, how can there be two Europe Teams? Europe Team has obviously got more than one big wheel, because there are some members who already have now more than one big wheel because their activity, and they've already had some cycles, etc., and they've got a lot going on around them. So a ghost position is waiting for something to happen before they can take their place. Now the reason that these two positions here are ghost positions and they didn't go straight to the wheel is because they appeared there after Swiss Team 6's inner circle was already complete, and these are inner circle positions. They cannot go to the outside, so therefore they have to wait until Swiss Team 6 cycles this wheel and gets two vacant spots on the inside, and then they automatically go there. You can have outside ghost positions waiting as well. So for example, let's say Swiss Team 6 was still on the inside of her big wheel because she didn't have PowerMac 2 and Amadeus 2 there yet. So she is still on the inside of her big wheel. She could have ghost positions there for the outer circle. The minute she goes to the outside, those ghost positions just zap onto her big wheel and cycle her before she even knows what's happened. So having ghost positions is a good thing. Having potential members is a good thing, but you can create these things with your own activity, and so just read those wheels FAQs, just go through those wheels FAQs, and it will become clear. one of the biggest questions we've had is, where is my mini wheel? Why don't I have a mini wheel? And we've answered that now, but that was one of the biggest questions, because a lot of people did not understand that once they cycled their mini wheel,